time with Mr. LaMotta. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. LaMotta, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. LaMotta. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. LaMotta, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm glad that we're here indeed. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Please let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. Happy Friday. And we do have a wonderful book to go today with us. And this one is called Grandpa, Is Everything Black Bad? And this one is coming to us from LYNNE, HOLMAN, and LELA. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. And this one is published by LYNNE, HOLMAN, and of course a big thank you to them for allowing us indeed to share this wonderful book here on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in, and glad that you are here. Culture Corp, thank you to you too for allowing us to bring this book here to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you're ready. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for being here, and of course good morning to you wherever you're joining us from, whether you're joining us live right now or indeed you're joining us later on for the recordings. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of Storytime. Thank you for supporting this wonderful community. Thank you indeed, and happy Friday to you. I hope it is indeed a happy Friday for everybody, and of course a happy weekend to follow. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And we've had a great lineup this week, and we did the Tree of Wonder. I hope you've been able to check out the video too. And of course, thank you very much. And then we had Things to Do as well. And of course, today, Grandpa, Is Everything Black Bad? This one coming to us shortly. Thank you so much for joining in. And then I did see something cool on the internet that I thought I should share. And this student there in the classroom created their own cozy atmosphere, their own cozy corner in the classroom as they read. I thought that was pretty cool. So yes, thank you to Miss Millaham for posting that to social media. But there you go. So we can make cozy corners wherever we are. And I thought that was genius from this student. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Of course, happy Friday to you. And thank you for being here. Let us see who is with us this morning, ready to enjoy a wonderful story. Good morning to you. How are you doing? One more time here. Owen, thank you for joining us. Glad that you're here with us. The snow has arrived out there in Massachusetts. Well, thank you, Christine Costa. Owen, thank you for being here as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Please do stay warm. Please find your cozy corner and enjoy story time. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you, Amanda. Where's Sarah and Nathan? Out in sunny Illinois. I am so jealous. It has been raining out here in Oakland. In fact, went for a walk yesterday evening and thought, looked at the weather forecast. It said no more rain today. Went on a walk with friends, and it did rain, and we got soaked. Couldn't get back to the car quickly enough. But it was so good. It was so good. There is a story for yesterday. But thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you, Sarah and Nathan in sunny Illinois. Happy Friday to all our friends, you say. Well, thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you and welcome to Story Time. We do have a wonderful story to read together. Grandpa, Is Everything Black Bad? This one coming to us from LYNNE, HOLMAN, illustrations by LELA, KOMETIANI, and of course, Sandy Lynn Holman, thank you so much. And of course, the Culture Co-op for allowing us to share this one here on Storytime. Thank you indeed. If you only knew how long we've been trying to bring this book to Storytime, I think it's been over 6 months now, and finally we have it here. We have the permissions to read it, and I'm so thankful for that. Thank you to all of you that are keep sending us recommendations. We will bring those books as well. We're working hard to make sure that those books are read here on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Friday, yes, to everybody that is joining in. Remember, you can find Storytime live right here, 7 a.m. Pacific time, or indeed you can join us at 11 a.m. Pacific time for the recordings, and sometimes live. And of course, you can join us at any time that is convenient to you at storytimewithmrlimada.com, at Storytime with Mr. Limada on Facebook, YouTube. You can also follow us on Instagram and find out all things Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in. Please look out for what's coming next week. More exciting stories from a specific publisher this time, one that we just love so much, and so many books coming your way from them. But today, Grandpa is Everything Black, Bad. This one coming from Sandy Lynn Holman, and of course, illustrations by LELA Kometiani. Please do join in for this one, and I will catch you on the other side of this short break. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for being here with us. Good morning to you. All right, somebody with a new book that is coming out is Angela Darton. So please, good morning to Angela Darton this morning.
Hi, friends. I hope you're enjoying today's story on Storytime with Mr. Lamada. I know I am. My name is Angela Dalton, and I'm the author of picture books, including If You Look Up to the Sky, Show the World, and Ruby's Reunion Day Dinner, all of which you can hear Mr. Lamada read right here on Storytime with Mr. Lamada. I hope you continue to enjoy today's story, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, bye.
Welcome back, indeed. Welcome back. Thank you so much. And Angela Darton has a new book coming out in addition to Ruby's Reunion Day Dinner, If You Look Up to the Sky, and of course, Show the World. This time she has one called To Boldly Go. It's coming out January 17th, so keep an eye out for that one. It is coming right up, and get to enjoy it, and I guarantee you it is a good one. All right, here we go. Grandpa is Everything Black, Mad. This one written by Sandy Lynn Holman, illustrations by LELA Kometiani, published by Sandy Lynn Holman and the Culture Co-op. And a big thank you to them for allowing us to share this lovely book here on Storytime. Yes, a great question to ponder. I hope that we had time to think about it yesterday and of course this morning. And here we go. Oh, and let's see. I see somebody's here with us too. Who is here this morning? Good morning to you, April Booker. How are you doing? Alicia Lindley, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And I'm glad that you're here together with us, of course. Everybody out there in Orange County, thank you for joining in. Good morning to you. And of course, Soraya, how are you doing today as well? Thank you for joining in. Good morning, Soraya and Sharon Lungo. And of course, thank you for being here with us. Indeed, absolutely appreciate you. I forgot somebody. Jemison, Alicia, Lindley, and Jemison out in Orange County. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, April Booker, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Sheba Chanda, good morning to you out there in Lusaka, Zambia. Thank you. Or is it good evening out there to you? Thank you so much for joining in. Good to see you here. Abraham, sending you love as well out there in Lusaka. Thank you so much for joining in today. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, indeed. Thank you, April Booker. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope your school year is off to a flyer. Thank you so much for joining in. All right, here we go with our book for today. Grandpa is Everything Black, Bad. Story by Sandy Lynn Holman, illustrations by LELA Kometiani, and of course we're reading this one with permission of Sandy Lynn Holman and the Culture Co-op. Thank you so much for allowing us to share this lovely book here on Storytime. Grandpa, is everything black bad? Great question. It's dark, black, and scary in my bedroom at night, so I hide under the covers when Dad turns out the light. Hmm. I like watching TV, but sometimes I'm sad because most white things are good and most black things are bad. Hmm. Yes, it's dark, black, and scary in my bedroom at night. So I hide under the covers when Dad turns out the light. Hmm. I like watching TV, but sometimes I'm sad because most white things are good and most black things are bad. Hmm. People wear people wear the color black when somebody dies. They look very sad and have tears in their eyes. Grandpa, is everything black bad? Hmm. That's a question for all of us. People wear the color black when somebody dies. They look very sad and have tears in their eyes. Grandpa, is everything black bad? Grandma says hide in the bush in a bush when a black cat walks by because they bring bad luck to those that eye them. Auntie Barbara says my skin is darker than most others. She calls me the black sheep of the family because I look different from my brothers. Hmm. I saw a fire burning in the forest one day. It made the trees turn black and the animals run away. Grandpa, is everything black bad? I think witches are scary, flying their brooms in crooked hats. They always look ugly and they always wear black. I like hitting baseballs with my friends, Rami and Ty. One day, our ball hit Jasmine's face and she got a black eye. Hmm. Black widow spiders are dangerous and quick. They have poison in their bites that can make people sick. Tell me, Grandpa, is everything black bad? I am black, so does that make me bad too? Hmm. I reckon I can understand the way you feel, Montsho. Grampy never did stop to think about all the things in this world that are the color black that seem bad. Maybe that's why so many children are ashamed of their beautiful dark skin. You young'uns think all dark things must be no good. So it's true, huh, Grandpa? Everything black is bad, Marshall whispered sadly. Now you wait just a minute, little man. You ain't bad, and neither is the color black. You just get that kind of thinking out of your head. It's folks who decide what colors mean to them. Why I love the color black and think it's one of the most beautiful colors in the world, Grampy said firmly. You do, Grandpa? Mosho asked, surprised. Yep, I do, little man. Almost as much as you love your grandmother's gumbo soup. You see, Moncho, it ain't the color of someone's skin that makes them good or bad. It's what's inside their heart that counts. The more love you give from your heart, the better you are as a person, no matter what people say or do. You understand? Moncho nodded. You also have something else inside you that is very important. I do? Moncho asked curiously. Yup, you do, little man. You have a heritage, a very, very proud heritage. Heritage? Moncho wondered. Whoa, wrinkling his face. What's heritage mean, Grandpa? No, if I can get this page, we'll find out. A heritage is our past. It's where we come from. It's the traditions and the things that are important to us and our family who lived long before us. Our heritage is African, Moncho. African? Moncho said loudly. I'm not African. I don't live in Africa. No, Moncho, but our ancestors did live in Africa a long time ago, and the spirit of Africa is within us no matter where we live. Africa is also where a lot of important things happen that help people all over the world. Even today, you and I still have African blood in our bodies. That's why we look like the black Africans who still live there. So, why does everyone call me black then? Why didn't they call me African? Hmm. I don't know, Morsho. Black folks have been called so many different names over time that maybe people aren't sure what we should be called anymore. Some folks say we should be called one thing, and some say we should be called another. All Grumpy knows is that grown up folk got to be careful what we let our young'uns be called, especially if it makes them feel bad. We also have to teach you about your heritage. Ah, very important, very wise indeed, Grumpy. Wow. What do you like people to call you, Grandpa? Why, that's simple, little man. They can start by calling me by my name, by the name my mama gave me when I was born, Rufus. I didn't know your name was Rufus, Monsieur said, tickled. That's because to you, I am just plain old Grumpy. If someone calls you Black, do you feel bad, Grandpa? No, Moncho, I don't. You see, when I was a young'un just like you, my grandfather told me about our African heritage and our past history. He gave me a special bamboo drum, and as he played it, he told me stories from our past. Those stories made me feel mighty proud of my African heritage and the dark color of my skin. Could you play the drum for me, Grandpa? Moncho yelled excitedly. Could you please, please, could you play the drum for me? Yes, indeed. Ah. The old man looked into Moncho's big black eyes and smiled. He took Moncho by the hand into a special room in the back of the house. The room was beautiful, flowing with colors of black, gold, purple, red, and green. Beautiful African scenes were painted on the walls, and masks and pots were laying on the floor. It looked like an African kingdom with the straw hat inside. Within the hat was a large red bamboo drum. It looked magical. Moncho's grandpa sat him on the floor and began slowly to beat the drum with the large old palms or large old hands. Close your eyes, little man, Grandpa whispered. Feel the love you have in your heart as I play. Listen, and you will see pictures in your head as the drum tells you a story about our heritage and history. Moncho closed his eyes and listened as Grandpa beat the drum. After some time, the drum beat sounded like voices to Moncho. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. The drum began to talk. Africa is beautiful, and so are its native people, with their beautiful dark black skin. Her lands have great animals, the lions, giraffes, and elephants. Africa is where our ancestors' lives begin. Oh, yes, indeed. Africa is beautiful, and so are its native people, with their beautiful dark black skin. Her lands have great animals like lions, giraffes, and elephants. Africa is where our ancestors' lives begin. Boom, did the boom, 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 did the boom, 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 boom. The drum continued. Africa's land is naturally rich with lots of diamonds and gold, with deserts and rainforests throughout her regions. Africa is beautiful to behold. Africans built the mighty pyramids and used some of their earliest tools. They developed writing, mathematics, astronomy, and religion. Even the Greeks came to study at their schools. Yes, indeed. Africa's land is naturally rich, with lots of diamonds and gold, with deserts and rainforests throughout her regions. Africa is beautiful to behold. Africans built the mighty pyramids and used some of the earliest tools. They developed writing, mathematics, and astronomy and religion. Even the Greeks came to study at their schools. The Nile River, the longest in the world, was home to the earliest farms. There were queens and kings in African lands. Africans made medicines to keep people from harm. Africans made calendars a long time ago that today would still be right. They had the clocks like the sundial they used in the day and the water clock they used at night. Africans had writing the Greeks called hieroglyphics, which used pictures in place of words. Africans were proud and made important contributions that have helped people all over the world. Yes, indeed. Be proud of your dark skin. It represents a proud people, and black is truly a beautiful color. It was passed down to you by Africans who lived before, and your heritage is like no other. Mostly, be proud of the love in your heart and all you have within. It's the love that you share with the people around you that matters the most in the end. The drum kept talking to Montsho. Boom, did the boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, did the boom. Boom, 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 boom. Be proud of your black skin and the love you have within, and remember your heritage is African. Be proud of your black skin and the love you have within, and remember your heritage is African. Be proud of your black skin and the love you have within, and remember your heritage is African. At last, the drum stopped beating. Montsho opened his eyes and gave his grandpa a big, strong hug. Yes, indeed. That was beautiful, Grandpa, Montsho cried. I saw pictures in my head. I saw Africa. Please, can we play the drum again? I want to know more about our past and our African heritage. I want to hear the drum talk again. Moncho's grandfather put his arms around the little boy and said gently, That's enough for today, little man. Grampy's old bones need to rest. Besides, it is very important for you to remember what you learned today. Don't worry, Grandpa, I won't forget what the drum said, ever. Moncho said proudly. Now, that's the kind of talking Grumpy likes to hear from his little man. Makes an old man like me feel real good. Aw. Grandpa, can I ask you something else? Moncho asked softly. What's that, Moncho? Do white people have a heritage? Yes, they do, little man. All people do. Then what's their heritage? Asked Moncho. Well, it depends on where they come from in the world, little man. A lot of white people's ancestors in this country came from Europe, so their heritage is European. What's European, Grandpa? That is a whole other story that Grandpa will have to tell you some other day. Don't you worry yourself none, though. We will have plenty of time to learn about your African heritage and all the others in this world. Let's learn a little more about your own heritage first, and then it will be easier to learn about all the others. Ah, yes, indeed. Grandpa, yes, little man. I love you. You always make me feel good. I love you too, Grandpa said, looking at the drum still in the middle of the room. You just remember the dark color of your skin and your African heritage is a good thing, a very good thing indeed. That is the end of our story today. But please do look out indeed for other titles by this author and say we all have a heritage. Grandma says our hair has flair and color me beautiful. And yes, you can find them at the Culture Up as well. And of course, there's more information on where you can find out a lot more about this author right there. And we'll try again to put this information up. So do follow LYNNE HOLMAN and of course LELA KOMETIANI and of course the Culture Co-op on Instagram and lots more information. And that's where you can find them. Beautiful book indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Grandpa is everything black bad. I hope that we all learned something today, and we'll be right back after this short break. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you.
Have you ever wondered what makes you special? Maybe it's the color of your eyes. Maybe it's something that you can do, like sing. Well, with my brand new book, I See Me, you'll find out exactly what makes you awesomely special. Make sure you keep in touch with me on my social media handles and at Just in Time for Storytime. You're watching Storytime with Mr. Lamont.
Welcome back indeed. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed our book today. LYNNE HOLMAN and LELA KOMETIANI. And this one is called Grandpa is Everything Black Bad. Thank you so much for joining in. Indeed, I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that we learned something from this one. Thank you. This has been Storytime for this wonderful Friday morning. Let us see one more time who was with us. Thank you, Christian Costa. You say, what a beautiful book. Thank you as always. Well, you are very welcome indeed. Owen, thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely appreciate you. And I hope that indeed you enjoyed that book. Miles, we send you love as well today. Hugs to you. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Mofat, thank you for joining us all the way out in Lusaka, Zambia. Thank you so much for joining in, my brother. Appreciate you and hope you are having a lovely start to 2023. Thank you so much for being here indeed. And Amanda, West, Nathan, and Sarah, you say, Sarah, you say, thank you to the author and illustrator for writing and sharing this so children and adults alike can remember this important message. Well, thank you indeed. Absolutely well put. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's what Storytime is about. We're here to share these voices, to share these stories, and indeed ensure that everybody, yes, like the book says, it's the love that we have inside, and for us to be proud of who we are, and in a good way, without causing harm to others. You can be proud of who you are without causing harm to others and without making others feel uncomfortable. So thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate this book and absolutely appreciate you all too. Thank you for pondering this question with me today and for allowing us to think deep together on this Friday morning. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, April Booker. Thank you. That is the voice I need today. I'm carrying that with me all throughout the day today. Thank you so much indeed. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day indeed out there, and I hope that your fourth graders get to read that book as well sometime. Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely appreciate you all. Thank you to everybody that was joining in today. Amanda West, Sarah, Nathan, and of course, April Booker. Thank you, Soraya and Sharon Lungo. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. And of course, to remember as well, one thing too that I have is this book, there's actually a play to this book, and let me see if I have it here, but if not, I will definitely be posting that up later on. But it is a beautiful, beautiful book, beautiful story indeed, and there's a little snippet of the play. There's a little play, just a tiny bit that is showed, a small segment that is played out on I think it is on YouTube. I will find it later and share it with you all, but you can get to see Montsho and Granpy in real life. So yes, you can get to see the people playing out Montsho and of course Grandpa Rufus. And two, it is indeed this story is dedicated to the real Grandpa Rufus right there. So real people indeed, based on like just conversations that I had in families. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I will be sure to find that beautiful, beautiful play for you and share it, at least so part of it you can see it and get to see the play maybe near you someday. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. And of course, our picture today is the beautiful skyline of Montreal from Mount Royal Park right in the center there. Beautiful, beautiful indeed. Many points like that where you just get to admire the beautiful city. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Our story today is a special one. Grandpa is everything black bad. But I also just want to reiterate and just read this part one more time. And I just loved it so much. Where are you? Here we go. Yes, this part. Be proud of your black skin and the love you have within, and remember your heritage is African. Be proud of your black skin and the love you have within, and remember your heritage is African. Be proud of your black skin and love that you have within, and remember your heritage is African. Thank you so much for joining in out there today. Yes. Did we answer our question? I hope we did. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I will see you again next week when we're back for more Storytime. But remember, too, that you can catch us even over the weekend. You can catch us for Storytime at storytimewithmrlimada.com, at Storytime with Mr. Limada, Facebook, YouTube, as well as Instagram. And, of course, at your convenience, like we're saying, anytime, catch us. And, of course, if you go to the library, pick up a book and you want to read along with Storytime, why not? Put on that Storytime video, open your book, and read along with us. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I wish you all a lovely, lovely Friday, a lovely weekend ahead. And of course, looking forward to our next time together again when we're back here gathered in this Storytime space. Thank you so much for making it safe. Thank you so much for making this community wonderful. I appreciate you all. I feel your positive energy, and I hope that we continue to share that and indeed share it with the rest of the world. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. This has been Storytime for this week. It has felt short. 4 days is too short. We need that 5th day, but we're back next week with 5 amazing stories. Thank you so much for joining in today. Much love to all of you. Hugs, hugs, hugs wherever you are. Feel proud of who you are. And remember, too, it's the love we have within. It's how we treat others that is important. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Much love from me. Bye-bye, everybody. And remember, too, to support our friend Marietta as she has her brand new book coming out on March 1st, 2023. It's coming up. It's coming up. Yes, Jack the Library Cat is coming out very shortly. So please be sure to check out that one. And if you're wondering how to create your own cozy corner, well, this kid here shows us how it is done. Yes, you can create your own cozy corner and enjoy stories all day long. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Much love from me. Bye-bye, friends. I'll see you again on Monday. Bye-bye.
It brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Ooh, story time. Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.